It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas, especially if you live in the Nicol household in Johannesburg, where Mrs. Nicol, Mrs. Kouvelakis, has had the decorations up since mid-August, and the sounds of Boney M now have me verging on requiring therapy. But it is a time to celebrate, and Dan really likes wine, likes nothing more than celebrating along with wine. And so, in the surrounds of the glamorous Cape Grace, I've assembled a crack squad to look ahead to the festive season to find out what we should be eating and drinking, what Christmas gifts we should be looking out for, and what our fondest Christmas memories are. So, with great pleasure, welcoming for the very first time, I feel very bad about this, but getting a star of your magnitude on the show is not easy, Karen Dudley.
We had
to work through your New York office and then the Dubai team, but welcome.
Paris.
Lovely to have you on.
Thank you
for joining us.
Great to be at such a glamorous table.
It is indeed. And on the counterpoint of said glamour, Banele Vakele, welcome. Lovely to have one of my very favourite winemakers on the show. I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to have you on the show because you're just getting more and more famous and harder to get hold of, which is fantastic. But it's lovely to have you here, and welcome back to Dan Really Likes Wine.
Thank you very much for having me.
And then adding some real glamour and sophistication and elegance. Inside, I love this suite at the Cape Grace, Leon Meyer. It's a 3-bedroom suite. It means 82 members of the Nicol family can come and spend Christmas here. But lovely to be back, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
There's a really festive feel. Karen, in our family, Christmas is almost problematic. You can trace the load shedding in South Africa back to my wife setting up Christmas lights around her house, which pilots coming in from Australia can see from Madagascar. Such is the excitement. Yeah. What has Christmas meant to you? Is it something that's always been a big part of your life? Do you get super excited for Christmas?
Yeah, you know, we're so almost bereft of ritual nowadays in our lives that Christmas is such a great opportunity to make memories, isn't it? And that's how families get together and stay together, as they keep making memories together. Of course, being around a table and sharing food and sharing like the expected food, the old traditional things, is kind of fundamental to that. And so, yeah, in my household, I've grown up decorating the Christmas trees, not messing around with all the shiny baubles, and growing up that way and kind of opening presents under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning, having the usual breakfasts and kind of, you know, flapping around with lunch and so forth. There's been always fundamental. Christmas Eve also very special, I think. Kind of a real family time, and you know, you commit to the time. You know, you're not going anywhere else. You're just going to be around for Christmas Eve. And
we all have our different approaches. What about Christmas in the Eastern Cape, Banele, growing up? What was Christmas like when you were a kid?
So it's a very special time. As a kid, you get new clothes. So that's like, and now I'm too old to even call my dad like, hey, you know, a new pair of sneakers or something. A lot of us live in the cities now, so it's always a good time to go back in the village, and you know, you lose cell phone reception, so you can't get me, which is nice. You kind of unwind, and you know, one of the traditions that we do is either we slaughter a pig or a sheep to just have as a family, and you know, it's good to see old uncles, although, you know, by 3 o'clock, the whole family drama is out in display, but it's a really fun time.
I'm interested to see how, in your current role, wine has now come into that space, but we'll get to that with our celebrations. Leon, what about for you? It's always being a hotelier, a busy time of the year now, so I suspect that encroaches a little. Yeah. But if you go back, growing up as a kid, what was Christmas like for you?
Yeah, I think it's similar, right? It's I come from a smaller family, and I'll segue into why I'm starting there, but grew up on the south coast of Natal, so Christmas was always on the beaches. It was festive, and it's all about friends and family. And I think fast forward into, you know, my current situation, my family, you know, much like you, I'm also tied into a European family, Spanish, and that sort of catapulted Christmas for me. I thought I understood Christmas until I was told how Christmas should be through the lens of the Spanish family. And for me, it really is about food, family, slowing down. And, you know, for the last 9 years, we've got kids. Marky turns 9 in a few days' time, and the twins, really seeing Christmas through their eyes just gives me such joy. Christmas trees up, way ahead of schedule. And in contrast to Boney M, we've got Mariah Carey that's back in the house with, believe it or not, another CD that's come out for Christmas. But it's beautiful, and I've stepped into it, and it's all about kids, family, food, and spending that time together while you slow down.
Food is such an integral part of all of our celebrations, just as people, but it needs good wine. So as we jump into it, I'll pour the first of our two wines. And I'm really happy to be pouring this particular one, not just because, Banele, it is indeed your Chenin Blanc, but Karen, this is, I've always found, if I have to take a bottle of wine to an event or to a dinner or to some sort of gathering, I'm not sure there is a better wine than Chenin Blanc, because I've yet to find many foods that don't, at least to some degree, go quite well with Chenin.
Absolutely. It can be the friend to so many dishes, and it's kind of a friendly wine, I think. It plays nicely with its friends. And it can be all things to all people. And I think you want something easy drinking and unchallenging at Christmas time. You just want something that you can trust and believe in, and know it will be, kind of as versatile as possible.
It can go with so many things. Some specific ones I want to find out about, but very quickly, cheers to everybody. And
Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Cheers.
I feel songs coming on. Yes.
I'll start singing again in a moment, particularly with the wine which is itself singing. I've served this quite a few times this year, Banele, to different audiences, and because we're in South Africa, where the transformation of the wine industry is still very much in play, I like to wait and just serve this wine, and I don't tell people who's made it, because I want them to enjoy the wine. They love the wine, then they find out it's this cool young rock star of wine, and the story takes on another level, and they get even more excited. But I have to say, this year, the quality of the wine that you have produced has been outstanding.
I work with the vineyard in Stellenbosch, and it's an old vine vineyard. We do natural ferments. We try and keep it as simple as possible, so that the wine can really pair well with any food that you put it up.
As you look to set up both at home for Chateau Leon, but also here at the Cape Grace, what are the kind of dishes that you feel to both speak to Christmas, but also speak to South Africa?
Our audience is predominantly international, and I think Christmas and holidays, and we can use that together, is such an important time for people. When people travel over Christmas and they're away from their homes, we've got such a deep sense of responsibility to make sure that they connect away from home. And Dan, if you come to Cape Grace, we always say welcome home. But over Christmas, we really lean into that space. And I think what you'll find here is abundance. You'll find a lot of love that comes through in the food. Lorraine, our pastry chef, loves curating the gingerbread houses, the story on all the lift landings. There's cookies, and there's just treats for people to enjoy. And again, I say it goes with love and abundance. And then we also try and remember why Christmas is so important, but also some people don't celebrate Christmas. So the holidays is another narrative around it, but it is around quality food, South African. So it's the beef Wellingtons, it's the gammons, it's the turkeys, which I hear you, but our chef's got it under control. And it's just making sure people are understood. So, you come here, you want to feel like you're home away from home, and you can celebrate Christmas with your families under the African sun. Looping it back to home, I'll be happy with what I get there, because it's Spanish influence, it's salads, it's, again, meats. And I'm not sure how it works in Greece, but Christmas extends all the way to the 6th of January, because that's when the Three Kings sort of is celebrated. And when we get the opportunity to be in Europe, being with Mama there, it's just amazing. And the European families, the culture, the street living really amplifies Christmas, and it makes you feel like a kid again. And I think that's the big thing. At work and at home, it's really to, embrace that spirit of youth through your kids and through what we do here, And also, I forgot about our staff. We do a lot back of house for our staff, our canteen, our gifting. So we celebrate. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and the feeling of abundance and a feeling of kind of committed celebration. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's also about appreciating people. You know, I think we sometimes the year is so busy and we're all doing things, and it's the one time where we appreciate the teams that we work with. We appreciate our families, and like I said, for me, I go to the Eastern Cape, and you know, it's always nice to see that long lost uncle from Johannesburg. You know, it's always nice.
Are you now expected, when you get back to the Eastern Cape, to arrive with 35 cases of wine to look after the family?
Basically, they expect a 1,000-liter flow being arriving with me. But unfortunately, you know, my grandmother now drinks a lot of wine, so I try and bring her some stuff. The other young ones, they must buy their own wine.
You're heading back to a freshly slaughtered sheep, a slaughtered pig. I think the Shannon's going to go beautifully, but is that something that you've had fun with, taking your wine and pairing it with the food that you've grown up with?
So I've really enjoyed pairing the Syrah with a lot of our red meat, and then also with the pork, also the Shannon goes really well. Like, you know, we can never go wrong with Shannon.
It is, and this in particular, Karen, is drinking delightfully.
So delicious.
Are you the kind of chef who, the moment you have a glass of wine, recipes start dancing through your head, food combinations start coming alive?
It's happening this very moment.
So what are we thinking? What are we imagining here?
Well, you know, what I realize is that it's hot. It's hot at Christmas in Cape Town. And what I find often is that people have used my first book, to be honest, and done all the salad recipes out of my books because it's warm and this is the reality. So you can have your turkey. Oh, there are tips. We have tips. You can have fantastic roast pork, which is kind of a big favorite in my family. This is just asking me for lovely salads with great colour and little nibs of cranberry and some good leaves and lovely, you know, piquant dressings.
Oh, careful there, Karen. It's almost lunch, eh?
So we've got all of these dishes, and I think whichever family you're in, there are always particular foods, particular dishes. You have the aunt who, no matter how many times she's been told, still insists on trying to make a trifle, and you all have to pretend to have a mouthful. But there are all these little things that add to the day, and I think these traditions that we have, especially in South Africa, where there are so many cultures coming together, it is just this real way of knitting families and friends together through food, through wine, and through the love of just hanging out and indulging.
Yeah, of course. I think what she said, Karen, is that, you know, it's really important to have each family member do a certain thing, you know.
Yeah.
We know that auntie that, you know, does the trifle, and we you know, we have to.
Yes.
But you have to give us some airtime as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's part of that memory. You're always going to think about that Tannie or
we have to. And you know, Karen does the best baked potatoes, and we all wait for them. So each one has, you know, has their own family tradition. You know, I bring the booze. That's it.
It's a very valuable role. And speaking of which, we've also got the Syrah here. I move away from the Shannon hesitantly because it is so delightful. But I do want to try some of the red. We can also come back to the Shannon, of course. But here is our Syrah. Give us a quick introduction, Banele, to this red of yours.
Thank you. Over the few years, I think Syrah also now in South Africa has taken its own shape, where you know, Shannon has been the driving force of the South African wine industry, and we had all these red blends from Stellenbosch and Cabernet, but now we have taken, you know, in Syrah as the other variety which is pushing brand South Africa. So one thing about winemakers, if you are outside of the country, we push brand South Africa. We don't push our brand. We don't push the personal brand of Tembela Wines, and because we want to elevate the whole wine industry, we're not looking to elevate only us. Coming back to the wine, so it's a vineyard in the Polka Dry. We do about 80% whole bunch fermentation. We do natural ferments, as I said. It lasts. We put it into old barrels, very neutral oak, for about 10 months. and we leave it there. So you get a nice aromas of perfumey, a bit of spiciness, and also a lot of fruit that comes through at the back end, and good tannin drip to just pair well with a lot of steaks. But also, if I think this wine also can go well with some Durban curry, but not too spicy that it overpowers the wine. But I feel like the white pepper spices go really well with some curry also.
For me, this is a very special blend and or varietal, and it leans also into the desserts and the sweeter things for me as well.
Yeah.
But very excited about this. Very excited about drinking your wine. Yeah,
I think
speaks to me.
I think all the weight diets and are out during Christmas. No one really watches their figure during then. We worry about that. It's our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, for the first 4 days of January.
I think a lot of gym memberships are signed up during that time, and then after a month, people go back to their old habits. But Syrah is such a versatile variety where you can make it into a lot of different styles, and also we as winemakers are now becoming more knowledgeable about our soils, our sites, and we're making wines which speak to the sites and not wines which are forced.
The whirring sound you guys can probably hear is the thought process of our world-renowned chef planning all of these meals. We've spoken about the gammon, Banele's mentioned a possibility of curry. There's so many things. What is this eliciting visions of, Karen?
And I cannot deny a shameless plug in my new book for a Tamil roast rump.
Ooh.
Now, normally, people have rump as a steak.
I haven't had camel before.
Tamil. It's a Tamil. So it's kind of herby and spicy. Not hot spicy, but just deliciously fragrant. And it's this beautiful marinade that goes on actual joint of rump. So you get a lovely layer of fat.
Oh, wow.
And then you roast this whole piece of beef, and it just is deliciously pink as you slice it, with this fragrant, herby, spicy marinade. And the Syrah, that's what we want with it.
That's just made it onto
That's
our
what we
menu.
want.
That's just confirmed.
Karen, you mentioned the book, and we have a couple of copies here. It's just about sold out already, unsurprisingly. They only made 8 million to start with on the first print run.
This is my 5th book.
5th already?
Yes. And my last one was Onwards. It was a bit of a lockdown story, how I closed my beloved restaurant, The Kitchen, and how I moved into new things, and came home and kind of really started playing with my flavors and doing consulting work to restaurants and hotels. But Upwards is all about taking your cooking game to the next level. Because it's book number 5, I expect that you know how to roast a vegetable, you know how to do a chicken, you know how to debone or something. And this is all about kind of really playing with flavor, and all the chapters have got to do with dress up, meet up, freshen up, buckle up,
Wow.
because it's like, okay guys, you know how to do these things, let's do something a little bit more challenging and a bit more fun and more delicious. Is a grand present and a safe present, and one that lasts, and one that you want it to get all dog-eared and beloved.
Bit of olive oil
you
on
know,
it, some
exactly,
turmeric
a bit
on
of
the
oil.
spine.
That way when the little pieces of paper inside, and people keep coming back to that one particular thing that they love.
I must tell you, it is beautifully shot, and for me it sits in, certainly for my level of cooking, that comfortable space where I can just about, because I've had a flick through it, I think I can get my head around most of them.
Yeah.
There are a couple of dishes, ooh, that looks a bit challenging, but you know what, I want to take on that challenge.
Exactly.
And what I do love doing is, if I'm gifting somebody a book, which I'm going to be doing with this, is cooking them something from it.
Yes.
In the process of giving it over. So Karen Dudley, this is Upwards, and as I say, it's going to sell out very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But there are some cracking recipes in here, so get hold of it. I think you guys now both know what you're getting for me for Christmas. In terms of personally though, Leon, what else are you giving for Christmas, and what would you love to get for Christmas this year?
I'm actually uncomplicated. I like clothes. So, you know, I always want to, and I'm
We
quite
can
practical.
see by your beautiful
Oh, thank
linen
you.
jacket, blazer there.
I like that. Obviously, wine is definitely a great gift. And I like nice men's perfume or cologne. But to give, I find it very difficult. I mean, if I have to now think of you, what to give you, what a difficult thing. I'll probably give you a hug.
I'll take it happily.
But I think we shouldn't waste and overthink it. You know, even if you just make a list of 20 people or 30 people and send them a WhatsApp or a call, give them a call. I think about you. I think that's a great gift. Is acknowledging friendship, time, and then just wishing them and their families well.
I think Leon put it perfectly. Time. I think showing people appreciation and just spending time with them. Like you said, you know, we all love the expensive gifts, but I like things which are practical. I'll be happy to get a vacuum cleaner or whatever that's more practical, something I can use.
How romantic.
I don't know.
Yourself.
I like tools, although I don't use them that
Yes.
much. But I think every guy is always excited to have a new piece of tool to use around the house. And what you guys said, you know, my former boss, or if I can say Duncan Savage, that's what I get him every year. I write him a card.
You'll be seeing many people getting this book for
Yes.
Christmas, but what do you get Karen Dudley for Christmas?
Gardening stuff, growing things.
Yeah.
I'm a grower, so vegetable seedlings. I know it sounds boring, but it's kind of really, that's where I like to spend my time.
Different
So,
things create different
yes,
smiles for
and
different people.
maybe new walking shoes. I climb mountains, so and my shoes are they're dead. I need new ones. So that's what I'd be angling for this Christmas.
All right, I think it's a really cool and authentic Christmas wish list that we've got here. Mine, of course, is multiple cases of vintage Romani Conti, but if those don't come my way, I'll make do with the hug, the written note, a copy of Upwards, and a case of Tembele, which will...
Tembele, you know, if you can afford a Romani Conti, I think you can buy the whole production of Tembele wines.
It'll be the other way around in a decade or two, Banele. Hey guys, Christmas is almost upon us. It's been an absolute joy hanging out here at the Cape Grace and reliving a few Christmas memories and looking forward to this Christmas. I think we've got some great ideas on gifting, but more importantly, some great ideas on food and on wine and bringing those together. And there is really nothing that brings us together quite like food and wine, as it has with us here today. So thank you for giving us some real inspiration for this Christmas. Leon, thanks for having us and for being such a great friend to Dan Really Likes Wine again through 2025. Banele, the wine's just getting better and better and better. I shall continue to drink it while I can still afford it. I'm not sure that'll be for much longer, but while it happens, I shall love it. And thank you, and safe travels home to the Eastern Cape. And Karen, I think you'll probably be living in Barbados by this time next year once the sales of the book, led by thousands of copies sold through the Cape Grace, come to fruition. But to all of you, thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And thank you for sharing your Christmas thoughts and memories. Oh, we've got some crackers.
Okay.
Is this where the jewels are? Is this where the jewels are?
Okay.
How are we going to work this?
How do we do?
Okay,
One,
ready?
2, 1. All right.
Thanks.
There we go. Well, it is the Cape Grace, so it's a diamond
I've got a
studs.
Rolex. Where's your Rolex? You got a Rolex?
I got an IWC in mine. I'll
sorry.
take that.
What you got?
All right. Well, as we unveil our crackers, put on our Christmas hats, and dive into the festive feast here, it leaves me just to give you my Christmas message from Dan Really Likes Wine. I don't think anybody needs to be told that, be it South Africa or the rest of the world, it has been a challenging year, and there are many things many people have had to try and overcome in 2025. But we still live, for me, in the most beautiful country in the world. We still have the most amazing people in the world, and for the specific purposes of this show, we have some some of the best food and wine in the world, and that is something to be immensely proud of. So this year, I really hope you'll get the chance to explore some new wine, try some new food, do so with friends and family, and raise a glass to this wonderful country of ours. And from the Dan Really Like Wine team, thank you for all of your support in 2025, and we'll see you for plenty more great wine in 2026. Happy Christmas, guys. Thanks for being with
Merry
us.
Christmas.
And remember, Santa, it's Romani Conti. Cheers.
Yeah.